Are you approaching your 50s, or are you in your 50s and feeling stuck? Are you feeling like life is passing you by and wish someone would just come point you in the right direction? Welcome to the Path to Being 50 and Free show with Karen Theimer. Your path to freedom starts now. Join Karen Theimer on a journey where she explores with experts globally and empowers others to live a life of freedom. Karen will teach you how to claim your life back by covering topics around creating emotional and financial freedom. There is more to life than what you are living. Make a decision and start now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my third episode of a bi-weekly show called The Path to Being 50 and Free. My name is Karen Theimer, and I am your podcast host. And if you are watching this, then I know you are searching for something new. You're searching for something in your life. Maybe it's better health. Maybe you're looking for some clarity, maybe a new career. Maybe you're looking to make some extra income. I don't know what it is, but you're here, and I thank you for that. So just a little bit about my background. Sorry, my cat hopefully is not going to knock my camera over, but so just a little bit about my background. I've been in the health and wellness industry for 15 years. I'm a massage therapist. I'm a holistic nutritionist, and I'm super passionate about helping people. Well, 2 years after I graduated, I found out I had cancer. And I wasn't surprised because I was a big smoker, and I also ate a lot of fast food. So my diet was horrible. So from there, I decided to do surgery, and it scared me, of course, right? So, I decided to do surgery, and, they told me that I needed to do, radiation. And my gut instinct told me not to. Now, I'm not a doctor. I am not here to give any health advice, any medical advice at all. I just want to say, I just found out I had choices. So that was the route I decided. And now I can say I am 12 years, I think, a cancer thriver. So, which is very exciting. But this is what kind of brought me on this journey. Well, 6 years ago now, I just had a birthday, 6 years ago, life threw me another curveball, and I became single. So for me, I remember thinking oh my God, what am I going to do? Right? I have this massage business that was doing, it was pretty good, but it's also exhausting. And, what am I going to do financially? And I remember one of my friends said, oh, you got to come to this networking lunch. And it's amazing what people you meet along the way. When I introduced my guest, this is how we met. But so from there, I actually ended up joining a network marketing company, which I really had no desire to have another business. But I thought, you know what do I got to lose, or what do I have to gain? I'm single and I need to pay my bills. So I didn't realize that this journey again would take me to where I'm at today. About a year after I left my marriage, and I had my business and going through a lot of stress and starting this other business. I remember going to an event, and the host had said, if your business hasn't changed, or your life hasn't changed in a year, go find a coach. So that's what I did, right? And from there, I decided in 2018 to go on this healing journey, and I had no idea this would take me to where I'm at today, because I hired a coach. I started understanding how the mind and the body and our spirit work together. And I needed to understand how I work, how I think. That it's really led me on this journey today. And it has definitely taught me to step out of my comfort zone. So for me, I realized that, life didn't have to stop at 50. Life actually really began at 50 for me. And I'm super excited to introduce my guest to you today, because I believe that, we meet some amazing people along the way that are part of your journey. You stay friends, you help each other out. Everybody's got their tips and tricks. And yeah, I'm super excited to invite or introduce you to my guest, Janet Shore, who is a retired pharmacist and has been who is a close friend of mine. And I'm so honored to have you here today because, Janet, you have really changed my life. You've really impacted my life today. And I look forward to our friendship growing as we keep going. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, Karen, for that. And I feel the same way as well. So a little bit about myself is that I am, as you said, a retired pharmacist. I had a full career in pharmacy. I worked for 4 decades, which incorporated hospital pharmacy as well as community pharmacy, front lines in a drugstore. And the last part of my career was extensive in that I was at the same drugstore for a long time. So I was able to forge those relationships with people and really impact their lives as I served them. I didn't work every day, but on the days that I did work. However, for those that don't know, I am married to a chiropractor. And when I met him, I didn't know what a chiropractor even was, because I grew up in a very traditional home where exploring the alternative type modalities wasn't a thing. However, I am a bit older than Karen is, and the other modalities, and they weren't as common or they weren't as spoken about as they are today. So even though I may not have been introduced to them, I didn't even know a way to learn about them, actually. So when I met my husband, that was my first introduction into what people call alternative therapies. And I remember calling my mom up and saying, "Mom, I met this guy." And she says, "What does he do?" I said, "Oh, he's a chiropractor." She goes, "What's that?" I go, "I don't know." I had no clue what a chiropractor was, no clue. And the interesting thing is that his father was a pharmacist. So he knew about, obviously, traditional type conventional medicine, and not that chiropractic is so out there, because it really isn't. But we had some interesting conversations about the body healing itself naturally through chiropractic versus just giving medications through pharmacy. So that was my first introduction into different way of thinking. And I found that really interesting. And I went to a convention with him, a chiropractic convention, and bought a book on vitamin C. And that started me thinking about alternatives as well. However, somewhere along the way, we got busy raising a family and working and doing what you do to go by day. And my interest in alternative therapies kind of took a back seat to everyday life. However, I met you through a networking meeting. I got introduced into the world of network marketing also before I met you. And because I was, everyone's always looking for another stream of income, because, extra money coming in here and there is always helpful. And so I was at this networking meeting and I met you. And that was really interesting, because at the time you weren't even promoting the wellness company that we belong to. That was interesting. But I was there representing another wellness company, which was talking about ionized water. So I had already been on this learning journey of alkalining the system and different ways of thinking. I had no idea that when I met you, a whole world was going to explode before my eyes. And my interest in holistic health, and my interest in learning alternative therapies and knowing about them just blossomed. So I'm just very grateful for everything you've brought into my life and all the learning that I've done, because not only have I learned about alternative therapies as our friendship has grown, but you've taught me so much about the mind-body connection. I know that this is something that I've always liked, but you've really helped me become very interested in it, which brought me along a whole different pathway as well, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Basically, so I am a retired pharmacist with a twist, as I always say. I'm the pharmacist
I love that.
because although I love pharmacy, and my career was stellar, and my career served me very well, and I impacted and served and helped a lot of people. I realized that my passion is actually integrative care. My passion is actually where everyone works together and
Yes.
everyone supplies their expertise. And my vision for the world is that everybody have equal access to all the different kinds of therapies out there,
I love it.
so that we as a people can become better and we as professionals can serve better.
Beautiful, beautiful. And it's funny because how old are you, Janet?
Well, I just had a birthday and I'm proud to say that I am 64.
Yay! See, it's sorry, I'm moving my cat here. Go on. It's amazing because we met, well, I guess you were in your late 50s, right? Because we've known each other about 4 or 5 years, which makes sense, right?
6 years.
6 years. Oh my gosh, that's right. 6 years. Oh my gosh, time flies by. And it's amazing. Like this is the beauty, of this life, right? Is that we can have our own choices. We can change at any time. If you had asked me even 2 years ago if I'd ever be, doing this podcasting and being, hosting a podcast show, I would say you're nuts, right? Like I still get nervous doing it, but I know as I continue to practice and continue to share my story, it will all, it will get easier and I won't get the butterflies and feel sick before doing it, right? So, but I mean, it is about stepping out of your comfort zone, right? And I've watched you do that a lot as well, right? Because I think this is your first podcast, right?
It is. Thank you.
Yeah.
It is.
So,
And
yeah.
I have you to thank for stepping out of my comfort zone, really, because if it weren't for you telling me that, Janet, you have to go to some network meetings. Janet, you need to go to some network meetings. So I would say, yeah, okay. And as you know, there were a couple of years there where I wasn't able to do a whole lot because my eyes were, I needed cataract surgery. So my eyes were allowing me to do as many things. And once that was corrected, I was able to get back out doing things that I love to do because I love meeting people. So through networking and through going to these networking meetings, I met some fabulous people. I met Kathy Nesbitt, who introduced me to laughter yoga, and I am now a laughter yoga leader.
Right.
I went to another network meeting and I met Elvira Hopper, who became a coach of mine. And also she is the founder of the Love Your Vibe Transformation. And I am now through that a mentor, an apprentice rather, to be a miracle mindset mentor, which is a fabulous opportunity because that's the whole mind body connection and becoming aligned and authentic and fully self-expressed. And all of that just goes together, like all these holistic measures of laughing being the best medicine and mindset and doing your inner work so you become the best version of you, along with the traditional, like I'm going to say traditional alternatives as well. And I have you to thank because I think that if I hadn't have met you, I think you were the spark that although all this was in me, you ignited that spark. And I went out and started meeting people and my whole world has changed. So yes, I'm a retired pharmacist, but just because you're retired doesn't mean you've retired.
Exactly.
Just because you've retired from one path doesn't mean you've retired from life. Definitely not, because I feel that there's so much more out there and there's so much more to do. There's so many more people to help. There's so many more people to impact, and there's so many more people to meet.
Wow. I could not say that any better than you just did, but it's true, right? Like I love, one of my mentors, I love Bob Proctor.
Yes.
He's like, I'm never going to retire. Like, I guess when I forget exactly how he says it, but basically it's, he'll retire when he goes underground. Right. And that's what it's about, right? Like, enjoy this life, everybody, there's so much fear right now that it's like, right now, it's like, just enjoy, take each day. This whole thing right now has taught me to take every day as it comes and just enjoy every day, every moment. Yeah, you're going to have good days and bad days. It happens, but it's part of this journey. Right. And I'll just share a little something because I decided when we had the first lockdown, I had to shut down my massage business. And I decided, you know what, this is time to make another change, another career change, not a career change, add more to my business. right? Like, what do I want to do? And I love coaching people. I've been coaching people for years, but never made a business out of it. So I decided, during the first lockdown, it's like, okay, this is the time, this is the kick in the butt that I needed to make a shift. So I decided to rebrand myself. And this is how 50 and Free came about, right? And under that umbrella is, health and wellness and everything. So, and again, now this podcast, right? Because it's about, my goal for these podcasts are to help inspire people and to hopefully make a difference in somebody's life, to maybe find that little spark that goes, hey, you know what? I can do that too, right? Or, wow, I made somebody smile today or something, right? So, yeah. So,
Yeah, I agree. First of all, I'm very proud of you, Karen, for everything that you have done since I've known you, and especially in the last couple of years. And of course, with the world situation the way it is, and how everyone has had to, the famous word, pivot and do things maybe a little differently, and get online and online more, and perhaps even rethink the way they want to achieve their goals. It's become a different world, and I'm just really, really proud of you for what you have accomplished. I also really like the way you say about igniting maybe a little spark in just one person, because I actually, in my day, when I'm out and about, my goal is actually has always been to inspire one person every day, or make one person's day a little bit better. Because you never know what you say or what you do, how it can affect or impact or brighten someone's day. Because if you've taught me, your famous words are, Janet, you never know what somebody is going through at that exact time.
yeah.
And, we meet people in the grocery store, we meet people everywhere we go. And just because they look at you and smile doesn't mean that things are great in their life right now. We don't know what's going on in their life. So just by being ourselves, being authentically you, smiling at people, perhaps paying them a compliment that you like their shirt, or their eyes look nice today, or their hair looks good today. Just be honest, be real. Just be real, just be you. And that in itself will send ripple effects out into the world and spread love and light and kindness.
Oh my God, that gives me goosebumps. It's so true though, right? Like a smile to somebody, it's free, and it can really change somebody's life. And, as a massage therapist, I see a lot of people come in and, they're all going through something different. And it's just really just also listening, right? I used to think I was a good listener until I discovered I wasn't. And now I can say I am a good listener, but, and just really listen to people. And that's it. No judgment, no nothing, nothing like that. Just sometimes people just need to have someone listen. They don't want your advice. They don't want this, they don't want that. They don't want to be judged. Sometimes just listening can really change somebody's life, right? And maybe, yeah, and maybe paint, like if the opportunity comes up, maybe just, well, what if you pivoted a little bit, right? Maybe what if, whatever it is, right? So it's just sometimes we have to also paint a picture to somebody.
Yeah.
So question for you. What does freedom mean to you? This is like, I've decided this is a signature question for people that I want to ask people.
Haven't you asked me that question before when we haven't been on a podcast?
I have.
Asked you that question before. What does freedom mean to me? Well, freedom to me probably means something different today than it would have 2 years ago, because 2 years ago I was still working in a traditional setting as a pharmacist. And at the time, I think I would have said freedom would have been to be away, like retired from my job, from my job. However, now that I am retired from my job, but know that I'm not retired from things that I want to do, freedom to me means something different. Freedom to me actually just means being able to express yourself, being able to go out there, being able to pursue all the things that you want to do. I'm not even saying that maybe your end result will be that you've achieved that goal, because we don't always achieve every single goal we set out to achieve. However, certainly strive for it and work towards it. And somewhere along the line, the path may veer too. And that's okay, because you may go veer onto a path that's meant for you, that's better for you. And that's okay too. So freedom to me today just means that I have the opportunity and the ability and to have the ability, the health and the ability, health, that's the main thing, is the health and the ability to go out there and pursue your dreams and pursue your goals and learn new things. To me, learning something new every day is vitally important, vitally important.
So,
Freedom is the ability to learn.
oh, I love it. I love it. And you said something, like our mentor, Diane Solano, she always says, if you don't have health, you don't
Yes.
have anything, right? So, health has to come first for sure. And I think our freedoms could change, what we feel today could change tomorrow or 10 years or whatever. Like freedom to me, really same thing. It's about the choices. It's about having good health and I love that, learning something new every day, right? And just, yeah, what can you learn today? I mean, one of my friends, Jacinta, was saying, and I did take this from Jacinta if she's watching, but this world is our playground, right? And there's so much to learn and so much to do, but I love that and your what freedom means to you,
Yes.
right? So it's,
You said a good word, choices too. Choices to explore and achieve what we want to, but choices also in how we react to things as
yeah,
well give us, the freedom. Because the last couple of days, I've had a few interesting things happen with technology.
retrograde.
Oh boy, technology, it's not my best friend at all times. However, whether it be technology or whether it just be anything that presents itself in life, our choices are so important. And it's how we choose to react to it or respond to it, rather. Respond is the word rather than react, which is my new word. Because react signifies that you're just kind of jumping and it might not be, you haven't thought about it. Whereas
Right.
when we respond to something, we give it time to, we can choose to respond, to sit there, acknowledge it, like acknowledging anything, whether we acknowledge a person when we're listening or acknowledging something that's coming our way. Breathe, think about it, and then respond. We can choose to respond.
Yeah, I love that. And it's funny you bring up that responding because, a situation happened to me a few days ago where, actually, it doesn't really matter what it was about, but, where it was like my instant, I wanted to send a nasty message back, right? That's the old me of going, how dare you do this? And and, this is how I feel and lash back. That's the old me, right? But it's like, okay, let's take a step back, right? I don't have to respond right away. Do the deep breathing, right? Let's breathe and think about this and respond when I'm ready, right? Because the old me would be that quick. I'm going to go for the juggler, right? Like, how dare you hurt my feelings? How dare you do this? And it's like, no, wait a minute, right? That's old stuff. Let's be nice, right? So it really actually showed me how much I've grown too. So I love that. I love that we not react, but we can respond. That's awesome.
Yes.
So, but Janet, I love watching you grow and how much you've changed too. This is awesome. Like I love this friendship you and I have built, and I really do learn so much from you. And we do, I always said you were my rock, right? You do. When I'm like all over the place, I'll be like, Janet, and you do, like, you help me get grounded again, right? And I love this friendship. It's a beautiful thing, right?
I love it too.
So another question I have is, where do you see, like, what are you excited about in the future?
Well,
Right?
we only have about a minute to go.
Okay. So, okay.
What am I excited about? Well, I'm just excited about where the world's going to take me. I'm excited about laughter yoga. I'm excited about exploring my health and wellness opportunity more. I'm just excited about being a miracle mindset mentor. I'm just excited about learning all these new things. And I'm just excited that I can be excited.
Yay! That's awesome. Well, if anybody wants to follow Janet and her journey, you can follow her you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, and I see you're showing up even more. And yeah, it's very exciting. And I'm so happy to be part of this journey. If you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram. I am on Facebook as well. And I'm offering, oh, and I have a beta program right now for a new coaching program that I'm developing. So I have 2 spots left. So if anybody is interested in a complimentary coaching session, feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, I'm like, it's exciting. Let's see where this world takes us, right? It really is a big playground, isn't it?
Yes.
So yeah, well, thank you, Janet. I appreciate you. You like I said, you've been a big part of this journey with me, and I look forward to having you again on. Who knows? Maybe you'll have a podcast one day.
Miracles do happen.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. That's right.
So, what are your
Thank you for
plans?
having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. What are your plans the rest of the day?
Oh,
Oh,
well, cook dinner,
Beautiful.
regular things.
amazing. All righty, my friend, you take care. You have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, everybody, for joining in.
Thanks for tuning in to the Path to Being 50 and Free show with your host, Karen Theimer, on transformationtalkradio.com. Join her next time to continue learning new ways to claim your life of joy and stop letting life pass you by. Your path to freedom starts here. To work with Karen, visit 50andfree.ca. That's FIFTYANDFREE.ca. Make a decision and start now.